Hello, this is Simone, your favorite neighborhood nerd. As you can see, I stopped the video. The ink is still wet and we're just going to dive in where we stopped last week. Or I just stopped 5 seconds ago, and swatch the rest of the inks that Amy gifted to me when I saw her the last time. All of these are chromo shading inks, light inks, and now we're going to swatch 3 standard inks and then move into the sheening inks. She has so many sheening inks that are basically the same that it's almost ridiculous. But let's check these ones out first and then do the sheening inks. I'm going to put these right here. This one is TWSBI Midnight Blue. I'm swatching this because I have never swatched it before. I'm curious to see what the ink looks like. That's the only reason for it. Oh, this is dark. Well, obviously it's dark on this paper. This could be a Waterman Serenity Blue replacement. TWSBI. And I am using, if this is the first time here, I would highly recommend you go back and watch the first half of this video. But if you're here, I am using not my normal standard swatching notebook because there's just too many inks. This is a red leaning blue, ultramarine-ish, with red sheen. At least in these highly concentrated places where I just dumped ink on there. I saw my friend Amy last week, Yosemite Green, and she recently swatched all of the ink bottles that she owns and took out everything she doesn't want to keep and brought them when we met and asked if I wanted them. Now, I went from 64 ink bottles in my collection to 140 in one day, which is wow. So she gifted me more ink bottles than I originally had in my ink stash. I am counting these tiny Colorverse, which I'm not swatching today, but she also gave me the the Colorverse Color Vent calendar from 2024. This is Monteverde. Yosemite Green. Which I'm also counting as bottles because they're like 15 milliliters, I believe. That's a huge amount of ink. That is in my definition of an ink bottle. That is a bottle. Everything that's less than a diamine ink bottle, which is 12 milliliter, is a sample in my eye. And everything that's 12 or more is a bottle. So those are all bottles. And so she gifted me around 70. And I had 64. Well, 64. So how many did you gift me? Ish. 77? 78, 76, and I bought one, maybe like that. This is Ink Institute Cat at Midnight, and you know what this reminds me of actually? Monteverde Chameleon. Maybe not, I don't know. This looks super interesting. I hope it's the same when I'm taking water to it. Ink Institute Cat at Midnight. So yeah, so she gifted them to me and they have been sitting on my desk looking at me, and I decided that I need to swatch them right away so that it does look red though, right? Reddish brown with gray purpley undertones. What do you think? Oh, I think this is a super good play ink for sure. So I swatched all of the other ones before. Last week, when you watch it, just 5 seconds ago when I'm filming it. But I thought I want to swatch them all so I can go at it and see what I want to keep and what I want to gift away. On this paper, which is Canson XL mixed media paper, all of these look amazing. And I'm like, okay, I cannot give any single one of those inks away because I want to play with these on this paper. So I've shared all of those light inks, almost illegible ones. Oh, I'm going to have to go back and come at it at a closer angle in the other video, I think, because I promised. A lot of light inks. Very, very understandable why she's getting rid of these, because they are hard to read in fine and extra fine nibs. And if you don't play with these, then like on paper, if that's not your thing, then all of these inks are kind of meh. So that is one part of the inks that she got rid of. And then she got rid of a whole bunch of Sheening inks. This is Sterling Ink Electron. This is Emeraude de Chauvoir. This is Bisberas. This is similar to I'm trying to get like colors together. This is Azur Maharlika. Then we have Tubataha, which is Sulu Blue. And this is green leaning. This is red leaning. I don't know what Electron is, but I'm going to try and see if I can distinguish between these. This is Blueberry from Troublemaker, so I'm going to put this with, this is a pink one. This is Colorverse 2024 Special Ink Glistening Blue. Then we have Shadow Snow by Ink Institute. We have Organic Studio Nitrogen, which I think is also a green leaning blue. And then we have Vinta Malayan Apple, Macopa Malayan Apple, it's a magenta, also sheening. And then we have Van Diemen's Underwater series Bioluminescence. It's a shimmer ink that is also very dark blue, I believe. You could call it an indigo color. And then we have, this is almost in the same, this is blue for sure, but these are all shimmer inks, dark shimmer inks, Color Traveler Fireworks, with this shimmer here, Roaring Patina Black with greenish shimmer, and then Bioluminescence with, I don't really know what shimmer. Yeah, so do you see the theme? Like, she's drawn to the same inks. Like me, probably like you, it's very, very, no, I have the feeling that probably a set of maybe 10 or let's say 20 ink bottles would be enough to cover our favorite inks. And then even then there would be repeats in color, because I can totally tell that I'm drawn to these same old colors all the time. And I'm just buying iteration of the same color. That is sometimes justified. So this is, I'm just going to write Urban. I don't care what the rest is. Emeraude de Chauvoir. Sometimes that is justified. I think of maybe if you have a pen that is super wet, but you want an ink that you need ink that is dry for that pen, but that ink would not work in any other pen, then I think that is totally that would be a reason why you would have same colors, same bottles, same colors in different ink brands, because the rest of the ink has a different property. The only thing that is the same is the color. The next one is Vinta Vester Blue Bisperas. I said in my other video that I saw a swatch of this ink on Instagram somewhere recently, and I just loved this. I swatched it in my little teeny tiny notebook too. And what am I doing? I need this Vinta Bisperas. I need to go work my way up, because otherwise I'm going to get in trouble. Yeah, the underlying blue of this ink is just so good. I love this, don't you? What do you think? But also you will see this color appear in so many other inks here. It's the same. And this is not just a shimmer ink, this is a sheening ink, just like Urban Emeraude de Chouvoir. So maybe she just cannot handle both. This one goes here. Well, okay, so I'm gonna start up here with Vinta Malayan Apple Macopa. This is not a shimmer ink, but a sheening ink, and very highly sheening. And when I used this a long time ago, I had the problem that it was sticky, and I think that is a problem that a lot of shimmer inks, sheening inks have. Vinta Macopa. So what else did I want to say? I was just talking about something. The different inks that we buy all the time, the same ones. So I feel like if I started buying small maker pen inks as well. Like I bought some of the inks from Amarillo Stationery, some of the inks from, the next color is Violet Blackberry from Lamy. It's another sheening ink. And look at this, there's gold sheen on the Vinta Macopa. I started, oh no, getting those because I don't want to buy so many inks. So I'm trying to use the inks that I have and then rather get rid of the ones that I currently own to make space for more inks, because look at all of those inks that she gave me. They have been in her possession for years. And she probably used a lot of them for a while. Or she used most of them. Probably at least once in her pens. But then there's still so much left, and then you have to decide which ones do I like better. There's so many that I now have because there's always coming new ones. So I actually feel like there should be smaller ink bottles first of all, but then maybe it doesn't even make sense for the ink makers to, this is such a beautiful color. However, I'm curious when the sheen comes, because there's blue pigment-ish. So what am I going to put here? I'm going to put the Colorverse Special Ink Glistening Blue. This is with Blue Dragon Glistening Blue. So the shimmer is blue, and I think almost these 15 milliliter ink bottles, even though these ones are super inaccessible. Like, not inaccessible in the way that I cannot get them, but inaccessible in the way that I can't put anything in here to use them. Would be better specific for me for sure. Let's just put this right in here. Because then I could, you know, use this and maybe sample some of these inks out to friends, and then that's it. And then the ink bottle is empty. But now I have so much back, you know, such history load. Colorverse 2024 Blue Dragon. Blue. So I really like this ink, but I really don't enjoy the sheen that is on there. I would totally keep these. Look at what we can see here. It's dark, it's almost black, it's almost the same color as this one, just a different shimmer. But I don't think I got a lot of shimmer at all, which is weird because I felt like I shook it up well. I don't know. So that's that. And then we have these ones. So let's start with the Sulu Blue Tuba Taha. If the U is correct, then it's Tuba Taha or Taba Taha. I don't know. There's not a lot of ink left in this bottle. So what I'm going to do with the ones that I'm not going to keep, which is for instance this one. Most of these sheening inks I'm not going to keep I will post them up for grabs in my Discord server. Tuba Ta, and people will pay me shipping for the inks, and then they can have it. Or if there's no takers, see, these are blue greens. This is a purple. This is a magenta, and this one is a really bright blue. But can you see that when you write with it? No, because this is red sheen. And even in the writing with the dip nib, which is very fine, there is sheen. Which I think that's what she said when she gave them to me. The Colorverse Blue Dragon would be so cool if it wasn't a sheening ink. That's a lot. This is totally true for all the inks that, for me, with sheening inks, I don't really have any, I think. This is Troublemaker Blueberry. Do you even see this? No. Wow, such a great video. So my ink water is getting dirtier and dirtier, and it's harder and harder to clean off the nib. TBMKR Blueberry. And I think this also has red sheen. And let's see how different these are. And I think there's another one. This one is Vinta Azure. So this is this is a blue. And then this one is more like in between this and that. So here we go. Blueberry is more, what would we call it? This looks so lovely with water though. Oh my goodness. Let's drop a whole drop of water in here. There we go. Maybe I'm going to keep that ink. Which one was it? Where is it? Oh, Troublemaker Blueberry. I might want to play with this a little. And also I can keep these and then play with them once and then give them away. So there's no, I don't have to get rid of them right away. I don't have to keep them. But I'm just showing them to you right now. So then we have, as I said before, Winter Azure. Oh, okay. Well, I guess this is where I'm making the splatter, right here. And this one seems to have red sheen. Very similar to blueberry, but it's definitely a cyan blue underneath all of that sheen. It would be awesome if there was no sheen. I want to drop another drop in here. See what happens. Hello. There we go. Okay. And then we have these three, Organic Studio Nitrogen. This is such a highly concentrated ink that I don't know if it even ever dries. Oh, writing. Forgot. Organic Studio Nitrogen. Well, I guess it's a blue ink with red sheen, and can you even distinguish between these colors? No, I think she has a type. We have Sterling, what is this? Writing ink. Birmingham Pen Co. Electron. There's cat hair. I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to leave this dip nib in the water because it doesn't seem like it's going to come out here. Well, I guess this is another sheening ink with this looks like Konpeki to me. Very similar to Konpeki. And I was going to show you, what was I going to show you? I don't remember. Huh. So, and then the last one is Ink Institute Shadow Snow. I have so much space left. Oh, because I have, 5 more ink bottles. They will fit right here, but also too much space. But I like how this looks for sure. So this is Ink Institute. You want to see my water? Darkness. But my dog is still sleeping, even though it's already almost 3. And I'm gonna just take that, and I'm not going to get up and switch out the water. Ink Institute Shadow Snow. Oh my god, also the names. Like, you have to keep the Cat at Midnight, you have to keep the Shadow Snow, because what the heck? Who came up with these names? Oh look! It's the same color. Well, it's a little more green leaning, I believe. But we will see what... so it's more in the vein of these. The Azure is, I think, a little darker, but the Organic Studio Nitrogen is very close to this. And then Electron is very Konpeki-y. So if you have Konpeki, you might not need Electron, or you might need Electron and then just leave Konpeki on the shelf. What the heck? Why is this not closing? But as I said earlier, it was so fun when I swatched these the very first time to like, okay, well, I guess she has the type. for sure. So this is bioluminescence. And I hope there is shimmer here. This is super dark again. I thought there was shimmer, but oh, writing. Van Diemen's. Demons bioluminescence. This word never ends. So let's see what happens here. Oh, yes, I said it was more like an indigo. There's green here. What do we do? What do we see when we dip? Get some more of that water out here. I'm not seeing any shimmer right now, and I don't know if there is shimmer in this ink. I have no idea. Then we have, let's do Roaring Patina Black, because it's not black, it's a really, really dark bluish color, actually, I think, blue-gray even. And I don't like these nubbly wobblies because they're like, eh. So there's shimmer in this ink. I might not have agitated it enough for it to be visible. First we'll press Roaring Patina Black. And then let's, yeah, see, this is dark blue. This is an indigo blue. Roaring Patina Indigo Blue. There's Macopa. Yeah. Almost blacks that are not black, almost black. And this is blue. And then, so there's shimmer on here, which I hope will come out when it dries. The Blue Dragon is so much red sheen that you can't even see the shimmer, which I think sucks. I would rather see the color, or at least some shimmer. Like, yeah. Sheening inks do not convince me, like even less than all of these, because with these I can at least play. I can at least play on this paper and make inky messes, which I obviously don't do, but I could, in theory I could. So this one is then called Color Traveler, and the line is Time Clips Fireworks, but I'm just gonna do Color Traveler Fireworks. Color Traveler, it does write really nicely. Fireworks. And let's see what color is behind this ink. I need the brush, and that's what I need here. Okay. Oh. I wonder. I think there was some other. This I don't think is correct. But maybe it is. Maybe I need to explore this ink a little more. No, I think there is some dried up ink crustaceans falling off. So let's try this again. Yeah, there's no blue in here. This is wishful thinking. So Color Traveler is a dark, almost black, gray. And I think she said Fireworks has multicolored shimmer, and there's only gold shimmer on there, and so it doesn't work for her. So I am going to swatch these anyway, because I'm done. I can clean my utensils now, even if this is not good. I'm not sure if Toner and Limbs Water Lilies is a pigment ink or what, or if the if it's not a pigmented, what is it then? The dye fell out. So if I'm not sure if I even want to do the research for this. So if you know it, let me know in the comments down below. Is it a pigment ink or a dye ink? So it's going to be interesting to see what happens when I come in with a water brush while it's still wet. It also, look at, there's not a lot of, so yeah, I don't know. It's weird. So I think what I'm going to do with this is R and K, Thea, not Theo, but Thea, is I'm just gonna, there's not a lot of, well, if it's still wet, there's ink coming out, but there's other bops and bits. This is flat. It's a gray ink, I believe. Maybe it was supposed to be olive. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, and there is ink all over here. That is bad. I need to foam. And then if I shake this one up, then I can show you the mix that I made. And then I think the paper is full. This is Water Lilies. I'm not sure if this doesn't stick to the swizzle stick because it is so bubbled up, or what the problem is. Tonal and Limbs Water Lilies. Okay. This is a blue and it's not super like endearing, enticing, and specifically with all of the stuff that's going on in here, I don't know if it's worth, you know, agitating it all the time to get this ink. So last one is a mix that I made myself with Electron, Winter Sunrise, and First Will Press Frivolous Lime. I put it in here. I didn't put it in a pen because I have not mixed ink at all. I just wanted to see what I could do and what it would look like if I did, because that's also an option with all of these lighter inks, to keep some to play with and mix. This is a very spicy green. I'm not sure if it's super legible, but I mean, you know, spice green. If I only play with it, it doesn't need to be legible because it's just what the ink does on the paper. If there's anything that's super fun and stands out when I pull it out, there's definitely, I feel like it's not as interesting as the ink colors that I used could make it be. So yeah, there's that. All right, so I need to add a title to this because I wanna all of a me's rejected ink bottles. And it is June 2025. So I would love to hear what you think of any of all of these inks. I am so thankful to have friends who just, you know, throw a ton of ink bottles at me just because they can. And I'm so thankful that I got to swatch all of these inks. I can't wait to play with these. I don't know if you've seen an Inky Mess live video by Aziza, but she just played with one ink on one piece of A5 paper. And she did like 6 in an hour, I think. And it looked like so much fun and so relaxing that I feel like I need to buy paper, of course, because I don't have enough. I need a small pad of paper, bound book maybe even, and just play with all of these inks just for fun. Wouldn't that be so cool? So these are not dry just yet, but the ones that I just swatched are mostly Sheening inks. So I swatched, this is a Sheening ink. Even Yosemite Green has some sheen. The Twisby Blue, Midnight Blue might be red, black sheening. This could be an interesting ink. I think I'm going to keep one of these bottles. These are almost the same. In the coloring, there is sheen and gold shimmer. This is a little more green. This is a little more blue. The Colorverse Blue Dragon, the color almost same thing, is almost identical to Bisbera's. The sheen is so overpowering that you can't even see the shimmer. The Vinta Macopa, there's green sheen on top of that. There's gold sheen on the Lamy, Violet, Blackberry. There is tons of red sheen on all of these. Ink Institute, Shadow Snow, Vinta Azure, Vinta Tuba Taha, Organic Studio Nitrogen. The Birmingham Penco Electron has the littlest of sheen of this whole color group here. The Van Diemen's, there is shimmer here. There is like this green shimmer on the bioluminescence. But again, there's a lot of, it's super dark, it's almost black. And then we have the Roaring Patina Black with the gold shimmer, which is nice. But there's also, you can see this sheen right here. So in the writing, you wouldn't see any of this color, which makes this ink the most, like, this is what makes the ink interesting, in my opinion. And then Color Traveler Fireworks is, I think, messed up in the color that I pulled out. Similar thing to Roaring Patina Black. I think I even would prefer this one to that one. And then Tomo and Lim's Water Lilies and Aurora and Klingnotea, they are nice, but they're like, okay. Troublemaker Blueberry has red sheen, of course, but I don't know what it is, why I'm drawn to this over all of these other ones. Can't really tell you. Cat at Midnight is lovely. This is an ink that I'm definitely going to keep. Yeah, I really appreciate you taking the time swatching all of these inks with me. Thank you so much, Amy, for gifting me these boxes of inks. I love you, and I will see you all again next time. Until then, bye.